Time to check in with our lizard overlords. What are they up to? Well, this.
Is this the worst hour now?
Are we done our first hour?
Yeah, we're into our worst hour now.
Keep your expectations of this episode low. Starting the worst hour now, I feel like we've crossed into like maybe not great content hour.
Welcome to our worst hour.
There's this account that keeps coming up in my Instagram, and it's a woman from India interviewing, not Instagram, my TikTok account, interviewing other Indian people from India regarding how long they've been in Canada and what they like about being in Canada. And it's a good account. And she asked this one guy, like, what do you miss about India? And he literally was like, I miss nothing about India. And she said, well, what do you think of Canada? And he said, I had a lot of struggles in Canada until I opened up a landscaping company. It's like, this guy's been here 18 months. He's got a flourishing landscape company. He says he's bringing in the big contracts now.
Wow.
I'm like, what guru did this motherfucker talk to? What? What is this guy doing? This guy's been here 18 months. He's got a flourishing landscaping company. I've been here 51 years and I've got a virtually bankrupt landscaping company. Like, maybe I need to go to India for a bit, come back and fucking restart. Like, what is going on here?
Yesterday I had to go and look at a sod job that we lost because there was hydroseed work to do on the same job. And I showed up to look at the hydroseed stuff, and there was one skid steer and I'd say like 20 boulevards of sodded work. One skid steer running on turtle mode, hauling topsoil back and forth from like, I don't know, it's probably a 3-minute turnaround drive between the topsoil pile and where the guy's spreading it. So one guy in the skid steer and 4 Mexicans holding up rakes in the shade with big hats on. And I'm just like, this is the company that I lost the sod job to. All Mexican guys, which is fine, whatever. The boss probably isn't Mexican, but they were still doing it for half the price that I did. I lost by 50% to these guys. I'm like, fuck, we could have had this all done in a week. Here they are 2 months later.
Still pissing around?
Still
for
2 months?
Yeah. But whenever the Mexicans make $6 an hour, like, does it matter how long it takes? I don't know.
I think they make more than $6 an hour.
Well, 12, you know. But
yeah, I think they make minimum wage at least.
They'd have to make minimum wage.
do they?
Well, are they temporary foreign workers?
Yeah. I'd assume.
Because that they could be temporary foreign workers.
Yeah.
So if they're temporary foreign workers, then I think you get like 50% of their income from the government or something.
From our government?
Yeah, isn't that the Tim Hortons?
Our government pays.
That's why Tim Hortons has all the temporary foreign workers, because the government's paying them like 30-40% to have.
Why is our government paying people from different countries to work here?
Well, they're paying Tim Hortons. They're subsidizing temporary foreign workers. This is like a big thing that's blowing up right now.
Yeah, I know. I haven't looked into it or read into it or anything.
Okay, so yeah, I don't have.
They want to stop it, right? Like they want to.
They're stopping the temporary foreign worker program, but then now the temporary foreign workers are having protests across Canada saying that Canada's done them wrong.
I thought that had to do with the students, that people were coming over and defrauding, saying that they had enough money to be able to go through school,
and they don't.
But they don't, and
so that's also going on, as well as the temporary foreign worker thing.
Crazy.
They're two completely insane immigration things that are both going on. But maybe those guys are temporary foreign workers, so they're getting subsidized. Are you looking that up, Mike?
Yeah.
They get there's a big subsidy for hiring temporary foreign workers.
I had 10 people apply for jobs at Natural Design the past month, and we're still hiring temporary foreign workers.
I've had a bunch of phone calls recently.
Like for jobs or for people looking for a job.
People looking for a job.
Yeah.
What do they say to you?
Are you hiring right now? And then
Yeah.
I say, do you have a vehicle? Are you able to drive? And then so far the answer's been no. And sorry, I can't. But
Do you have
there's
the
been like
ability to-
5 in the past 2 weeks.
No, but
Do
I
you,
got
have
a bike.
do you have the ability to get yourself to the old age community in Kitchener? What are you working on right now, Mike?
Tomorrow I start a French drain, and then the week after, and then next week I start a porcelain, my first porcelain project.
Mm.
And then after that, I go to another porcelain project, which will it's a full backyard and side yard project. So
Does your first porcelain job know that they're your first porcelain job?
they do.
And
So how are you going to do it?
I'm going to do the Trass bed by Romex around the border, and then I'm gonna mortar them into the HPB like Chad did in the field.
Jack bid a commercial job with that's all that trash stuff.
Oh, completely.
Like it's like 7,000 square feet of it or something.
Wow.
And it's all because it's all these border stones. So they want it. It's all like it's bordering an asphalt driveway, but it's like 7,000 square feet of it or something bordering an asphalt driveway.
Oh, okay,
Jack's
sense.
showing it to me. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm like, man, that's gonna take a long time. The process for that stuff is insane.
yeah.
It is. It is crazy. Yeah.
But it's like a budget price or something.
Chad, what saw did you use to cut the porcelain? Did you use your like mini cutoff battery powered
Yeah, I
thing?
use the DeWalt saw with the
And then where did you get the blade? I can't find a 9-inch blade
Depot.
anywhere. Really?
Home Depot. There's one on our
I can only
saw
find a
on
7.
our saw on our trailer right
we
now.
use a 7. What does it matter? The tile's not thick.
Okay.
You can use a 7 on a 9-inch saw.
All
Do you
right.
have a DeWalt? Our blade, the blade on ours is 7 too.
Okay.
It doesn't change anything. Like it's
Do you have a DeWalt saw, Mike?
No, I don't have either. I'm gonna get the Milwaukee.
We have the
Pick up that
Milwaukee one.
blade.
It's been pretty reliable.
Yeah.
yeah,
it's
the guys haven't said anything bad about our DeWalt. I thought they would be complaining the whole way through, but all good so far.
Yeah, everyone seems to like ours. 100%. I mean, no one's ever it's light, right? And it doesn't ring.
Yeah.
When you let it go, it stops, and there's a lot of good things about them.
Speaking of tools, do you guys want to go into our tool review segment here?
Yeah.
Wasn't there like a bunch of questions from last week that we never answered?
There was. Do you get what do you guys want to do? Do you want to
So
do
I have one.
questions,
I have
or do
one.
you wanna-
I put up a note that said questions, and I had one response.
Okay, so let's do questions.
Let's do this one question here. I said questions, and the only person that responded was Aaron Eardale. Iredale. I'm so terrible at pronouncing anything. Ice in a cooler or a powered cooler?
Oh, ice in a cooler. A powered cooler?
Yeah, you can have the coolers you plug into your cigarette lighter and they stay cold all day.
Oh.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah,
Me
I've
neither.
had them on job sites before.
I
That being said, I have a Yeti with ice in my back of my truck. So
we just have an igloo. We can't afford a Yeti cooler. Yeah. Just an igloo cooler.
no, that's why you're both being holding companies and I'm broke. Because I'm rolling around with Yeti coolers.
$300 cooler to keep fucking your Gatorades cold.
Beer, water, Gatorade, coffee, or ice. Beer, water, or Gatorade?
Water.
I take water. I don't like
Yeah.
beer. It's not. Coffee or iced coffee?
Coffee.
Depends how hot it is. Coffee most of the time. Today I had an iced coffee.
So I would always drink coffee until I started drinking those burst protein coffees, and they're cold. And since I started drinking those in the morning, which have, drastically improved my life, Like my life is insanely better since I started drinking protein coffee first thing in the morning.
You are glowing.
Someone commented that I look like I've lost a lot of weight on Instagram.
Do you?
Have I? I don't know. I don't get on the scale. Maybe I'm really sick. Never know. I wouldn't go to the doctor to find out. So
You're very pixelated today. I can.
I know. I don't because the camera on this fucking computer is fucked. But it was also $100. So like I feel like the fact it's running at all. This computer is a Len. It's Lenovo. Lenovo. It's a Lenovo. I mean, if you're buying a Lenovo, like, a year from now, this thing's going to have a different sticker on it that says Devlon. It'll still have Lenovo parts. I'll say Devlon on it. Sorry, those were the questions I had. So go ahead, Mike.
Okay. Questions. Oh, we were talking about tools, table saw or cutoff saw from Innovative Landscape Co. Table saw or cutoff saw?
Cutoff saw.
Yeah. Cutoff saw.
Fuck table saws and the horse they rode in on in 1975.
Keeping with saws, Irish Pataub, still Husqvarna stone saw.
Still.
Yeah, if I was to choose between those two. Chad, you were gonna buy that Husqvarna that has 2 blades on it, like 2 years ago or something.
Yeah, I was.
Did you end up pulling the trigger on that?
Good thing I didn't, because I forgot all about it and I can't remember where I'd used it.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't. What did I need that thing for? Oh, because it cuts deeper.
Armor
right?
stone. Yeah, something about the armor
Yeah.
stone.
This is probably the first time in 2 years that I'm going to do armor stone. It's going to be Friday. So, maybe I'll need it again.
And a follow-up question from the same. And what's the favorite laser level to purchase?
Topcon.
I don't even know what brand ours are.
Yellow Topcons.
They're yellow and blue ours. The boxes
Spectra?
are all maybe they're Spectras.
What are the cases?
They're yellow and they have blue on them.
Oh, ours are.
I don't know. There's 2 of them. We have 2.
We got a Topcon.
I think they both work pretty good, honestly.
Okay. Hamlin _ landscaping asks, at what point do the materials change ownership on a project? I say as soon as they land on the property.
Yeah, probably. I think that's what the law would say.
I would say so.
Sorry, what was the question? I got distracted.
At what point do the materials change ownership on a project?
Legally or in my mind?
We'll take both.
Why do you guys have the same background? That's disturbing.
I'm just playing
I
around.
just changed it.
That monkey that you have up over your top corner shoulder there.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
been driving me nuts for the last hour. There we go.
Are you talking? So what are we talking? Are we talking legal or are we talking? Like, what are we talking?
Hit us with both.
I think legally, once they're installed, I don't know. I don't know legally. Okay, so I don't know legally. So there's that. In my mind, as a person, I feel like they change ownership. Like, because here's the thing: 99% of the people who are like, I need a deposit to buy materials. Isn't that what most people say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I need a deposit to buy materials. So if that's what you're saying to the client, I need a deposit to buy the materials. I feel like the ownership of the materials changed hands when you accepted that money to buy the materials.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
I agree with that, but I don't ask for material deposit.
I don't word it like
Yeah, I'll
that.
get it.
I don't say.
But there's
it-
a lot of people who do word it like that to just for the justification
Yeah.
of getting the money.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you word it like that, but I'm saying there's a lot of people who do.
True.
But
I
rightfully so.
don't word it like that. I don't like we don't word it like that. We probably I think we just because really the initial deposit money is covering some labor too, right? Overhead costs. Like it's not just, but there are people who be like, I need a deposit to buy your materials. And I think if you say that, then you've kind of walked away from, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's their materials immediately as soon as they hand that check over or e-transfer.
Nice.
Let's see okay, we got all of them except one more here. Majestic_outdoors. Succession plan. If you leave this earth tomorrow, what will happen to your company?
Everything grinds to a halt.
Yeah.
I think so. Well, the guys might finish off the job that they're on for the client. They'd be pretty good for that.
I feel like these are two different things. Like succession plan, I see it as the
Yeah,
end of the road, not like if I was to
die tomorrow.
Yeah, what would happen?
They asked me this today at my tax meeting. They're like, are you going to sell natural design whenever you're done, you retire? I said, I don't think anybody wants to buy a landscape company. They're like, really? I said, yeah. I'm pretty sure this baby dies with me. Like, I don't know about that. I'm well, fucking damn sure about it. Then don't get my hopes up.
So you have zero succession planning?
There's a liquidation plan. You get rid of it all.
But people would want your employees.
You physically
Yeah,
have
but you can't
you
sell
physically
your
have
employees.
like you actually have a plan of liquidation, or are you just saying
No.
that loosely based? Like
I'm saying that loosely because my 6-year-old daughter has already established that she doesn't want to be a landscaper. So we've started the process of liquidating in 20, 30 years.
I don't have a succession plan, so we'll go to PK.
So I think that if I died tomorrow, that the trucking part of the business, I mean, it would be up to Kelly. Does Kelly still want to continue on with the business? Does she still want to continue on with running the business? Because I think the trucking side of the business is easily not dependent on me. We have a lot of good clients. There's parts of it that I do that someone else might have to undertake. Although I do think the landscaping part of the business, I think that probably dies with me. Because I don't think there's anyone that, and I don't think that most landscaping companies are sellable items unless one of the workers or someone working at the company wants to buy it. That's just, I'm sure there's people out there selling their landscaping company for millions listening to gurus. But, some of the biggest companies on the planet with people who constantly brag about how they sold their company never actually sold it. It just went bankrupt.
Do we have names for that, or is
whatever? I'm just saying, like, I don't know. For me, I don't see it. I don't see our company as being I don't see our company being a sellable item, because I think that a lot of the company is just me, my reputation, my brand, my name. Like, is someone else going to own trucks that say Paver King on them? That doesn't make any sense. You know, like the name Natural Design Landscapes or the name Ever After Landscapes, those are sellable names. Because that's
Why
those
isn't
are
Paver King?
Yeah.
because you're not the paver king.
But you
You're
could
putting
step
up
into
enough
those
money
shoes.
so that they can be the Paver King.
But I'm saying that
Eventually, the king gets dethroned.
the
do they
brand
not?
is so. I just don't think that the brand is sellable. Why would someone want to? Why would
I think
someone want to
you're
buy the name?
most likely to sell.
I think Paver
Like
King is
the most
for sure.
sellable of the three of us is the Paver
I
King brand.
don't agree with that. Why would someone else want the name Paver King?
To run their paving company.
It's me though. It's me. It's my name. Like it's me. The whole name is me. It's like you might as well name the company Mike Pennington.
You should
Well, some
start a
people
business
do
called
name you.
Pennington's.
Yeah.
I'm good. There is a business called Pennington's. I don't, maybe I'm wrong. I'm obviously wrong about a lot of things. So potentially I'm wrong about this, but I just don't see my company as being remotely sellable. Whereas both of your companies are like, there's not a direct association to like, everyone knows who owns NDL and who owns, there's, you know, people who are suspicious about who owns Ever After. I'm just
It's
fucking you.
Saudi owned.
Saudi owned.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're right. Maybe the Paver King brand is sellable.
I went to an event 2 weeks ago with the guys from Oriole Landscaping who put it on.
Yeah.
And they had a segment about buying landscaping businesses. And I do think that this coming up, if there is a continued downturn in the market, there will be businesses for sale, and the people who are well capitalized will be able to essentially buy employees that would be good employees.
Why not just hire them when the company goes bankrupt?
They're not guaranteed to necessarily have it's also the assets that they buy. I still stand by that. I don't think like a landscaping project-based business is really that valuable, but I think there are certain things within the company that are valuable. For example,
I think the value of it comes down purely to the assets. There's no value in any project-based landscape.
I would argue even the assets are likely not even that valuable.
No, I'm saying the core value of the assets is what the company's worth. Because in a project-based company, there is no like, so in a stupid dealing, I don't know if I talked about this before, like this guy who may or may not have fucked me around on some bins wanted to sell me some bin business. Have we talked about this?
Yeah.
Okay. So whatever, like it's not sellable. Like there's no contract in place. Like if Chad signed a $3 million landscaping deal and it was about to go into the deal and he had all the paperwork there, then NDL is a sellable business on the fact that, and there's value in the business past the assets because you have a $3 million signed contract to give someone. Like I'm selling you the business and it comes with this $3 million contract. That's valuable, right? Because you have but in a purely project, like residential based business, I don't know what the value, like even then, I don't know what the value of having one $3 million contract does to increase the value of the business. Because if you said you were going to make 10% profit on it.
Yeah.
Would you buy a landscaping business? Well,
I would never buy any landscaping business.
Yeah,
ever.
I'm not going to phrase this as if like you would buy it, but would you buy a landscaping business hypothetically if they were in a market that you wanted to expand into? They had a recurring leads coming in without having to pay for marketing. And they had, say, 3 crews in place and a team of admin that took care of everything. So you were basically buying a business that the owner was stepping out and you were stepping in as owner, and they were able to run themselves.
I would not.
And I would say, before I even walk down that road, I would do a lot of research into, in an ownership change, how much of the staff can I expect to flip?
So
to
most
leave
of the
outright.
people with buying a landscaping business would buy it on the condition that however many employees stay would equal the compensation that gets paid out to it for the
Yeah, but
employee.
what if
portion of that.
the employees leave after 6 months or 3? Like, I don't. A lot of people that work long term at landscaping businesses, I think they work there because they like the way the owner runs the company, or they have some kind of attachment to the owner.
Yeah.
So when the owner leaves and you're the new owner, if they don't like you, like, how hard is it to get another job in landscaping?
So if you wanted to expand into another area, would you then just start from fresh in that area as opposed to buying somebody out?
Yeah. What's your liability if you're starting out? Like if you're just trying to break in on your own, so it takes you a little longer, but you can still get there.
But if you had the capital to buy that business and that business already had leads coming in and you didn't have to worry about marketing for it, as opposed to starting fresh and
those leads that are coming in are referrals to the past owner, maybe.
Could be.
Those leads are
Could
not that
be a
valuable.
website that's ranking already high and you're buying that as an asset.
So maybe you're buying website leads that are going, like, any lead that's coming from a website that's not a referral has not that much value. Because that person is probably going to 6 other websites and getting quotes too. Right? So I don't place a lot of value on that lead. A referral lead obviously has a lot more value, but you're not the person anymore.
Okay, so there has to be a dollar amount that you would spend for that. Would it?
Zero.
There not?
I wouldn't pay a penny for it.
If you got something for free,
I probably wouldn't take it because I think it would lose money.
Yeah. So
I'd like to know how many landscaping businesses have been successfully.
Let's just say hypothetically, 3 crews, an admin staff that were running things. You knew that it was profitable already. You were just buying out that owner. The assets were in place.
You knew it was profitable when that owner was running it.
Yeah, absolutely. Assets were in place, and they have a website that's bringing in leads. So that's an asset too that you're purchasing. They are renting land, so they don't own the land, but they have some sort of facility for 3 crews. What's the dollar amount that you guys would spend on that if you were purchasing it?
Absolute zero.
Zero.
If someone gave it to me, I wouldn't take it.
But think about
I don't think it's productive. I think it's a waste of time. You would be far better to start on your own if you're in a position where you have that much money to buy someone else's business. That means you have good systems in place, and you're going to buy this business and try to swap it over to all your systems and change it all to your systems. And those people aren't going to like it. And you would have been better to start from zero.
Yeah. I think like the second you hop in that driver's seat and you turn the key, you're bleeding money until you can get things run the way.
And they probably have a bunch of shit equipment that you didn't pick. That could be, run down and garbage. Like maybe they've never maintained it. Like, I don't know. The whole thing is a nightmare, an absolute fucking nightmare. Maybe I'm seeing the negative of it. Maybe you could buy it and have it as passive income. And these people are all just happy that there's no one around running the company and they just keep doing what they're doing with their 3 crews. But I've been around landscaping long enough to tell you that ain't fucking happening.
I have 9 guys that I've handpicked and molded, and shit still goes wrong every day.
I have people that have worked for me for 10 fucking years and shit goes wrong every day. The other thing is, how much attention can you maintain this business and get this other business? I don't like it. It's easier to buy fucking crypto,
which is down today.
I'm just saying, it's like there is on this planet an absolute minimum of 3 million ways to invest that money better than buying someone else's landscaping business and be more productive. There's a minimum of 3 million ways to use that money better. That has to be one of the least, other than buying someone else's restaurant. I can't think of a stupider thing to do than buy someone else's landscaping company.
Yep.
That's pretty
But
true.
this is why people like Oriole Landscaping don't invite me to their events. because I am the bringer of actual fucking reality. I don't get invited. Actually, they did invite me to that event like 100 times. To be fair to those guys, I just don't agree with anything they ever have to say generally. Although the last time I saw one of them speak, I think he did at the car event. I think he actually heard him more than I saw him, because I was talking to someone else in the room that I thought was a better use of my time than that guy. Well, it's true. I'm not going to pull punches. The person I was talking to was a far better use of my personal time than listening to anything he had to say. Now, there were people in the room that wouldn't have garnered the same thing from that conversation I did. So it was better that they were listening to that guy, but it just wasn't better for me, because I generally don't like that person or anything he's ever said to me in my life. So, but he did, I think of all the times I've ever heard the guy speak, that made the most sense that time. Generally, I disagree with everything that comes out of their fucking mouths, but whatever. That's fine. They're obviously way more successful than me, so take that. Why, you thinking about buying some landscaping company, Mike? You think this is a good idea?
I completely agree with you guys. I just wanted to spark a conversation on the podcast, but
it's asinine.
I don't think
it's else's company.
If somebody, I can't wrap my head around it, even with like somebody giving it away for free, because my mind immediately goes to, okay, why are you trying to pawn this off on me for free? What's going on with the business? Yeah. So I can't wrap my head around buying a landscaping business, unfortunately.
I don't like I can't fathom why anyone would want to invest their money in landscaping. It's a stupid investment. You do landscaping because you were born to do landscaping. It's an idiotic way to invest money. There is a million better ways to invest $157,000 than buying a 20-ton excavator.
So another business.
Now, Chad bought a 20-ton excavator because he loves 20-ton excavators and he wanted a 20-ton excavator. Yeah. And that's okay. But to say that that's the best way to invest that money is horrifically wrong. It's the same as, like, you can say that we paid $300,000 for Christie's truck. That is an asinine way to invest $300,000 in the grand scheme of life. It's stupid, but I like that truck and it makes me happy. So I don't give a fuck if I should have invested in some kind of crypto instead of that truck. Everything we buy, everything we do in landscaping companies is one of the shittiest ways to invest your money. That's the truth.
Yeah. Especially when you let your guys drive it. They fucking dent it the first day or the first week. Fuck it up all the time.
Does somebody already drive your new truck?
No, not my truck. They've dented the skid steer. 200 hours on it. Fucking giant dent in the door.
Really?
In the back door, yeah. I backed into a triaxle. Oh, I didn't see them there. I thought they were done delivering for the day. Right.
I thought they were done delivering for the day. Yeah. It could have been a large dump truck shaped child. You gotta be careful.
Dump truck shaped child. Yeah.
There's investing in any kind of construction equipment is absolutely ludicrous when there's so many better ways to invest your money and make money.
If that's how you know to make money, I think that's the best investment that you can make.
You can think that, but you'd be better to spend time learning ways to make other ways to make money.
Then why haven't you done that, PK?
I think we've well established I'm not the brightest bulb in the box.
But that's why if landscaping is what you know, then that's the best investment that you can make.
I don't think so. I think even if landscaping is all you know, there's still someone that can invest your money better than you. Look at Chad. He's hiring professionals.
Not to shield my money, not to spend it.
To me, and this is where me and people like those guys that threw the presentation that you went to, this is where we are on divergent courses. To me, and that's okay. And they're right about a lot of things and software and efficiency and all this stuff. But to me, landscaping isn't a business. Landscaping is my life. And to those guys, all it is a business. And that's all they fucking care about. It's a business to generate money. They don't give a fuck about the lifestyle or that it's their life. And that's okay. I don't have any problem with that. But for me, I run afoul of all these people because for me, this is a lifestyle. It is not a good investment. It's a terrible investment. The amount of overhead you run in a landscaping company for the amount of return is outrageously bad.
Yeah.
It's outrageously horrible. I don't care who you are and what program you're using or what you're doing. It is outrageously bad, the return on investment in landscaping. It's like running a restaurant. Outrageously bad return on investment. But that's okay for me, because for me, I'm not pretending that I want to buy all these businesses and do all this fucking shit. For me, this is how I live my life. It's how I've lived my life since I was 14, minus 18 months at Permacon, where I was still involved with, but it was a different way. Like, for me, this is about a lifestyle. It's not about buying businesses and fucking that maybe that makes me wrong too. That's okay. We're both allowed to have our own truths in this thing. Their truth is buy businesses, generate tons of money. Like, sure. Why not take that money and invest it in stocks and do nothing and not have headaches of 3 fucking crews? Like, that's will always be the argument.
I think
Buy a fucking commercial real estate property with that money and have someone else manage it.
I don't even know if I would buy a commercial real estate.
Well, commercial real estate property is way better because when someone doesn't pay the rent, you lock the doors and you own all their shit inside. There ain't no laws protecting people on commercial real estate like there are on residential.
But it won't be long before we're only able to travel 5 kilometers from our house. And
that's true. That's absolutely true. I just saying, like, getting in front of a group of people and pretending like it's a smart idea to buy landscaping businesses is outrageously dumb. Getting in front of a group of people and saying, take your money you earned from your landscaping business and invest it in things like laundromats and commercial real estate that create parking lots, that create passive income, that would be a great seminar. That would be super productive for people that own landscaping companies that have made some money. Go buy a parking lot.
With your holding company.
With your holding company.
Chad is
Chad is the fucking
full circle,
right
and
now.
We've got a title for the podcast.
Buy that with your holding company. That makes sense to me at a seminar for a bunch of landscapers. Teaching a bunch of landscapers how to poorly invest their money is other landscaping companies seems, but again, I could be vastly wrong about the whole situation. So
no, I do agree with you, and like my actions speak for that. I would not buy a landscaping business. Use my profits from my landscaping business to start other businesses. Which is why I started software, right? So I completely agree with that. I still think that if landscaping is what you know, and that's speaking to PK, that's what you know, I think that's a good way to invest your money. Right? If landscaping is your lifestyle, if landscaping is what you know, you invest into that, and then you start a landscaping business.
But I don't even want to be the boss of the. I don't want to even be the boss of the people that I currently employ. Never mind being the boss of a bunch of people I don't even know. What gets me up in the morning is that the people that are on our team depend on me to go out and find work and help them survive. And one of the things is a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are people that I've known for 10 years or 12 years or 15 years. And it matters to me. Waking up every day to go help 3 crews that I never met before, I have zero motivation to do that. I don't care about those fucking people. I don't know them. I couldn't give a shit whether they pay their rent or not. Maybe I'm a mean person for saying that, but that's just the truth.
How long do they have to
Circle
be
with that too.
with you before you start caring about them?
Oh, like 2 days. I care about all of them. I don't want to let them down.
So these new guys, after 2 days, we're in, we made it.
I don't
You
want to
can't
meet
get rid
them
of
because
us
I know.
now.
But that's the point. I don't want to even meet these fucking people because then that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
What about on Zoom? Do you make that same 2-day connection?
Oh, yeah.
And I ask for us because we've been meeting for
2 years.
Do we have that connection yet? But we haven't met in person 2 times yet. So
If I needed a job, would you hire me?
yeah.
Here's 2 choices. Buy a parking lot that creates endless passive revenue for you. Buy a landscaping company. You have $250,000 to invest, and you have 2 opportunities in front of you. One of them is to buy a parking lot that has generated money for the last 50 years off some baby boomer that's retiring. The other one is to buy someone's 15-year-old landscaping company that they're getting out of. Who picks that?
In Toronto, for 250,000, you get 1 parking spot.
Okay, say it's 2.5 million. It doesn't matter. It's not like it's about who picks the landscaping company. In particular, someone that already runs a landscaping company and knows how fucked up it is.
The only person equipped to buy a landscape company is another landscaper, and they are the last person that should be buying company because they should have their hands full with their own landscape company.
At what point can you not expand your landscaping company anymore in your area? Like, at what point do you say, I need to go buy a landscaping company in Ottawa? Like, landscaping companies are scalable in the direct area where they work almost endlessly.
Yeah. That's
like, at what point do you think, if you were putting in endless money into marketing in Cornwall and you were like constantly trying to add more crews and all you were driven by is how many crews you could add, your company is endlessly scalable right from where it is. You can take work in Ottawa, you can take work in Kingston, you can take work in... Why do you need to go buy a satellite company in Ottawa? You already go there.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not saying I need to do any of this stuff.
But in what situation do you see a company that's not scalable in its current area in landscaping that you would say, like, fuck, man, I really need to expand into this other area, but I don't know how to do it with my own company?
What would be the next business you guys would start if you had to? So this is a hypothetical. So you got to play along with it. Because I asked this because I've also heard of somebody recently. I don't know. It was on somebody else's podcast, maybe, or something like that, that they want to own a business of all home service businesses in the area. So they want to be the company that you go to as a homeowner for anything: plumbing, electrical, landscaping, mowing, everything. And I thought that was personally, I thought that was a poor strategy.
I think so. I think that's
a terrible
great
strategy.
way to get everybody to dislike you.
It's a great way. It's a great way to have to satisfy no one.
Yeah,
I agree with you. It is
great
a great
if you can
way.
pull it off. I don't think you can pull that off.
It's a great way to satisfy no one. I fucking totally agree with you. It's
like, give my wife a massage while half the crew is cleaning the gutters. Like,
I think in theory, it sounds good if you haven't tried to really, grow those types of businesses. But in practice, I think it's a terrible, terrible idea.
Like, you want to be building a large retaining wall with one crew while the other crew's cleaning the carpets inside. And another crew is cleaning the junk out of the garage. Essentially, that's what you're saying.
I think in theory, what they want is anytime a homeowner has a problem, they don't think, who's the person I need to go to, where, like, start to Google search They just know like the company A, if that's the company's name, is the company I call.
AAA Home Services.
Yeah.
That's a good general contracting company, fine, but not an in-house. We provide it all. Like, how do you have the overhead for every single fucking business and the expertise to go along with every single business under one roof? There's a reason Amazon doesn't come to your house and put up your shingles. Like it just doesn't work. How could that ever work?
I could see myself owning parking lots.
Yeah. I'm a landlord. I could see that continuing. Like, I was doing the math on it. I'm like, $50,000 a year in rent. In 10 years, that's $500,000 in passive income. Like, that's all right. That's not so bad.
And the asset's likely appreciated too.
Yeah. So,
What would you start, Mike?
I haven't thought that far. I always thought like storage would be a cool kind
Great
of
business.
way to go. Yeah.
And when you're building storage facilities, they're cheap to build.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to have all, like, no one cares, like all the complex parts of building buildings is because human beings are going to live in them or work in them. When you're building storage facilities, it's just slamming them up.
Mm-hmm.
No one cares. Got to have like a fire system. That's it. No one cares if one storage unit burns into the other storage unit. So there's no fire rated drywall, no bullshit. Like, storage units are where it's at. That's a good choice.
they just sold one in my town for $4 million. That's something saleable.
Yeah.
When you're sick of owning a storage unit company, you sell that baby and make out like a bandit.
I don't think people really get sick of it. I think they just die and then their kids sell it.
Whatever.
Yeah.
There's money there. There's something to sell. It's not a landscape company. So, yeah, that's smart. At one time, I wanted to put a storage unit on my site, but people were telling me it was a bad idea, so never did. I don't have a zone for it anyway. So
must have been
What kind of
you said the city is overly saturated already. We do have quite a few storage units.
Yeah, I think after storage wars, there was a rush of people trying to start storage facilities.
But they are almost always all full.
It's true. Yeah.
We have storage units everywhere in Durham region. Every time a new building's going up, storage. There's literally storage everywhere. They're bashing down malls to build storage. And the market, I would agree with Chad and say that it seems like it's oversaturated, but it can't be if people are still putting these things up.
Yeah.
But what happens when the baby boomers leave this earth?
Well, are they the ones storing stuff? That would be the question. Who's storing? Like, do you know anyone that has a storage unit where they're just storing junk? Like, do you know anyone in your life that's like, I got this storage unit, man, and I store my old goalie equipment in it. I don't know anyone that has, like, in my life, I don't know anyone that has a storage unit. But there's a lot of people, like, when you go to storage units during the day, there's a lot of people just hanging out in their storage unit. They got woodworking shops in there. They got shit going on. Like, go to a storage unit during the day, and I guarantee there'll be people just hanging out there.
I don't want people hanging out at my place if I own a storage unit.
No.
That
would be in my contract.
I don't think you can stop them. They're coming there. They're working. They're working on their motorcycles. I know there's one store. I don't remember why I was there a lot, but there was one storage unit where this guy showed up every day and opened up his storage unit and then sat in there drinking coffee in his storage unit. I think we were plowing that for the guys from DPR. And it was like the middle of the winter, and there's some dude like sitting in a storage unit.
Crack it open. Sit in a lawn chair at your storage unit.
Sitting in this, I guess he just fucking hates his wife.
I wonder if people get a storage unit just because they're sick of their wife. To go
Oh yeah.
sit in the storage unit and get some peace.
I'm headed down to the storage unit.
That's
People use them for all kinds of things. People have full wood shops in them. And
yeah. You can have like an a la carte.
how much is a storage unit?
I don't know.
Good question.
$50, $100 a month.
No, more than that.
I would think like $100 a month.
No.
They
Well, it
gotta
depends
make
on the
it enough for
size.
people to use them.
How big a size of a storage unit? This is a terrible conversation.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is listening to this? Like,
Where's that?
guys that don't even know how much the storage units cost.
It does seem like it's getting a little bit more cutthroat because I just Googled it and you got like first 4 weeks free or 50% off for the first 3 months. So it does seem like it's the supply is exceeding the demand.
So you're trying to get them in. It's like drugs.
Yeah.
First one's free, bitches. Your first 3 months are free because once your stuff is in the storage unit, you're more than likely going to stay there for a bit.
Starting at $1.
That doesn't seem profitable. Maybe whoever told you not to build storage units was fucking smart, Chad. Doesn't seem profitable at all.
So in Toronto, in downtown Toronto, $100 for a small unit, $200 for a medium, and $650 for a large.
How much is a small unit? Like, what's the square footage?
5 by 5
5 by 5.
What the
or
fuck?
5 by 10.
I'm gonna start renting out my daughter's closet.
What are you going to keep in a 5 by 5?
Yeah. But then when you click on 5 by 5, it says it's $200 a month. And $150 for the 5 by 10. So actually the 5 by 10 is cheaper.
I would want a 5 by 10. What do you keep in a 5 by 10? A 5 by 10 is like not much bigger than this desk that my 3 computers are on.
It's
Like, what are you keeping in
the
there?
size of your long bed truck box.
So that's 8
5
feet
by 8.
long. But
Yeah.
well, how big was that one on the truck you rejected?
8 feet.
8 feet by 8 feet. How wide is the truck? 6 feet?
Yeah, 5 feet a box probably ish.
6 feet wide.
No more than 6 feet wide.
How much would you? So it's like $100 to rent that. 150.
I'm just gonna rent out the box of my truck.
Yeah.
Think what you could get for a tandem.
Put a tarp over the tandems that are sitting in the winter. And you rent them
Set
out to
that shit
people.
up. Yeah, rent it out. I don't know.
Rent out the box for your tandem all winter long.
I still have a million things to do. So is this the end of the podcast?
I
So
got
much.
lots of things too.
I have so much fucking work to do tonight. Brad was fixing our truck in the yard, and I had to stay to hook up the float. It was productive though. Fog lights, city horn, fucking float hooked up, mud flaps put on the bumper. I'm in good fucking shape.
Perfect.
Trying to make all my trucks look like they're from Australia.
Australia.
In
How do you do
Australia, in Australia, all the big trucks have like a mud flap that hangs from the front bumper down. So we're putting them on. We're putting them on all our trucks. I don't know. I think it looks cool. It's somewhat unique. Western Stars often have mud flaps hanging from the bumper, but front bumper, not slope nose Peterbilts. So they look unique. We'll say that. Anyways, is that the end of the podcast?
Yeah.
Still recording.
It's still recording, Mike.
Oh, is it? I thought you were going to do.
Thank you for
That's-
watching. Ooh. Yeah, those people run the world? They're so impressive. What a bunch of freaks.